What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. Micro Mike, and today we are talking post first round NFL draft, and our Detroit Lions selected Jeffrey Okuda, cornerback, Ohio. And this was an interesting draft, to say the least. A lot of stuff that was hyped about via trades did not occur. But my God, it was very entertaining, to say the least, and it was fun. What's going on, Peachy Cole? What's going on, Adam Buchart, Truth Teller? Not bad at all. What's up, Mike? How you feel about the pick? I picked Jeffrey Okuda. I said the Lions would take Jeffrey Okuda. To me, this was very simple. Because if you looked at what they did in free agency, they upgraded the linebacker position, they upgraded the safety position, and they traded away Darius Slay. That's why I said the Detroit Lions would take Jeffrey Okuda. It was expected. Now, do you believe that we will win this year? Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: we got our shutdown corner, and look who is on the board with our second round. You have Yetur Gross-Matos available. You have A.J. Epinesa available. You have DeAndre Swift available. You have Neville Gallimore available. That's 4 players who should have been in the first round, and guess what? We picked third, so we can get one of those guys. Fantastic draft so far. I love seeing how players are falling. Mega Mike, what's going on? I am cool with Okuda, so am I. I'm fine with it. I've always been fine with it. Yes, Jonathan Taylor's on the board as well. Gross-Matos, I love Gross-Matos. I like AJ Epinesa. There's a lot of players. Look, man, this is what I said. I said that they would take Jeffrey Okuda. This is why I said they would take Jeffrey Okuda. You got to follow the money. And what do the Lions do? What have they done in the last 3 years, and considering this year? The last 3 years, they paid a certain amount of linebackers and safety a specific amount of money with the same amount of people on that team. And if you look at the franchise right now and what we have at the linebacker position, we're overpaying. We're plus $1,500,000 for a linebacker. We're plus $2.5 million for a safety, and we were a negative $2.5 million for the cornerback position. It was clear to me that they were taking the cornerback. It was a waste of a draft pick. I don't think it's not a waste of a draft pick. I'm not going to be happy with the pick. I'll support it. We must see how the player pans out, period. I do think Jeffrey Okuda is a blue chip player. He is going to be a quality player. It just depends how fast he implements his college style to the NFL. And that's what's going to be it was a safe pick. I think it was a safer pick. You could have gone other routes. I think like a Derek Brown would have been a safe pick. But Jeffrey Okuda fills a need, and it fills the depth chart in the finances of the team. That is what I kept saying. The Lions are going to take Jeffrey Okuda. I got mocked and ridiculed. But if you just follow the money, you'll see that is what they're going to go for. And so I'm happy with Jeffrey Okuda. Think of this young backfield. You have Jeffrey Okuda, Amani Oruwariye. That is a fantastic young duo for 4 to 5 years to come. Amani's coming into his own. Jeffrey Okuda, a top 3 pick. And, it helps when you have True Font, the veteran there. He can help these young guys and kind of bring them along. And, of course, we got Coleman, who is a very good cornerback in the slot. And we got 2 young safeties. We do got a very good secondary, a young secondary. Packers are going to be in flames. Picture Jordan Love against Okuda. That's going to be fun. Yeah, I said last year, it's interesting, last offseason, I said that the Green Bay Packers were going to draft the first round. They're going to draft the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers, and they did that. So it was expected, at least from my end, that what they're going to do. Do we have a blocker on defense at Detroit winning Lions? There is tons of value left. A.J. Epinesa was, before the Combine, was going to be a top 10 pick. He has now fallen to the second round. Okay, Neville Gallimore is a first-round talent. defensive tackle. Okay, Yuter Gross-Matos was supposed to be in the pick between the ranges of 22 to 30. He is available. DeAndre Swift is considered one of the best running backs in the draft, as well as Taylor. We have plenty of value there. We can definitely fix that defensive line. I do believe so. Okuda is mentally of a cornerback one. Expect him to blow past our expectations. I think he will. The expectations for at least for the YouTube world is that he is a bad pick and he shouldn't have been a top 10 pick. I disagree with that sentiment. I think he was a solid pick. He's got very big wingspan. He is a man-covered corner, and he's not going to be put into the number one spot. We have Trufant and Amani. He is going to be very placed and successful with our defense. Look how they developed Amani Oruwariye, a fifth-round pick last year. He did a very, very good job in development. Okuda is more talented than he is, and to me, it's not a bad pick. What would you grade the first pick? I would give it... So here's the deal. I wanted a trade back for the Detroit Lions. However, all reports came out that not a single team wanted to trade with the Detroit Lions. So my philosophy is if there was no way to trade out, you just take the best player available on your board. Clearly, Jeffrey Okuda was the best player on their board. You got to understand that if they could not trade out, what are they supposed to do? So I'm fine with it. I'd say a B+. I would give it a B+, just because, look, to me, there's a lot of talent on the board, by the way, but to me, he fits the scheme that they want. They want the man cover. If you look at what the Patriots have done, they've always built from the cornerback position. They have had strong cornerbacks at the end. That's what they do. And that's what we have. Amani Oruwariye and Jeffrey Okuda is going to be a very hot tandem in the next couple of years. When they're fully developed, good luck on that. It's going to be a absolute fun to watch in that secondary. It will be. And there is so much talent on the board. We're going to get a first-round talent with our next pick. And by the way, the rumors are stating that the Detroit Lions and the New England Patriots are discussing a trade with Joe Thuney to Detroit. That would fill the offensive line need. Maybe send them a third-round pick. Guys, it's working out really, really well. I think it's perfectly fine what's taken on. D. Williams says, A-. I like that. I hate this pick. It should have been Simmons. I think Simmons was gaslighted a lot in this offseason. I think he was. I think he'll be a quality player, but you got to understand in COVID-19, when it comes, we're not going to have rookie mini camps. We're probably going to have a depleted training camp, probably a less of preseason games. You want to get a guy who can get whatever position they're at clearly in that spot fast enough. So it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. A D plus grade. If they were unable to trade out of the pick, not a single team wanted to trade with Detroit. So what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do there. Hoping for Epinesa, a Gross-Matos at 35. Technical Jeff, absolutely. There is AJ Epinesa, Yuter Gross-Matos, Neville Gallimore, DeAndre Swift. There is a lot of quality players on the board, and that is because a lot of individuals in other teams picked players that we did not expect. And so it was nice. It's not a waste. Jeffrey Okuda will be a fine player for our Detroit Lions. He will be fine, in my opinion. I think he's gotten a lot of heat for whatever reason. I think he will be fine in our secondary. He will be fine. I don't think he's a bust. I don't think he's going to be You judge the pick in 3 years. Okay, T.J. Hawkinson was a great pick last year. He didn't have a great year. I think he's going to really blow out this year. I think Jeffrey Okuda is going to be a fine player in the NFL. I think he can. We're going to have a great bookends for a cornerback position. and the safety spots. We got a solid secondary, but we do need to fill the defensive line. I expect us to take some defensive line or possibly a running back with that second round pick. Then we got 2 third-round picks, folks, and I think one of them is going to be Joe Thuney trade. So right now I'm fairly happy. I wanted a trade back. I felt like a trade back would have been the best. But again, like I always say, if there's no trade partner, there's nothing you can do. Do you think there'll be like Deion Sanders? No, I can't say anyone's going to be like Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is a Hall of Famer, once-in-a-lifetime type of player. I think he can be better than Darius Slay. That's for sure. I think it's a fine pick. I'm not upset about it. He's going to be flagged a lot. We'll see. The fact that there's a lot of good players left on the board scores me because of Quinn takes the people you never hear of in the second. I think you're going to hear someone. I think you're going to know who's going to be with the Detroit Lions coming here. I think it's going to be one of those guys that I talk about. It makes a lot of sense. Or Blacklock, the defensive tackle. There is a lot of quality players in the second round. And this is, I love how the draft turned out, because so much defensive talent got pushed into the second round, and not a single running back got taken in the first round. So if you're a Lions fan, like we all are, a lot of talent is there. Former Lions fan Bob Quinn should either quit or fire Patricia. They're not on the same page. I think they're perfectly fine. For them taking Jeffrey Okuda, it makes sense. If you've seen what they did in free agency, they went with the linebackers. They traded for a safety. This is one of those things. So much for the Desmond King trade for you guys. LA original, yeah. The thing with Desmond is he is a slot corner, and we have slot corners already. We have Coleman, so we got that spot. But man, LA original, awesome YouTuber for the Los Angeles Chargers, and they got my guy Justin Herbert from Oregon. So congrats, man! You got my quarterback, man. Let's see. Any choice we steal a Belichick's guy, Render in the later rounds? It's possible. I agree. This is the second time they have disappointed about a pick. I'm not disappointed about a pick. Yes, that second rounder would have been absolutely nice. That's the one thing that sucks. But again, no team wanted to trade, so what are you going to do? There are reports out that Patricia wanted Brown and Simmons wanted Quinn and didn't listen. Yeah, we got to know if that's actually true. I think fairly quickly, if you looked at a lot of reports, I mean, Jeffrey Okuda is exactly kind of what Patricia's defense wants. And I think Derek Brown would have been fine as well. Either way, I had 51%. I had Okuda more. I definitely did, but I could have seen them go Derek Brown if they wanted to go that route. But what up, though, General View, Monterey Moore? At Believing Random Rumors. Yeah, well, just like there were so many rumors going out that the Lions had so many trade partners and not a single one wanted to trade with the Lions. So just like a lot of people got upset that we didn't trade back, and my initial response was, just wait, we'll find out if there was actually trade partners. Comes to find out there's not a single trade partner, so I'm perfectly fine with it. Go watch Patricia's reaction to report sounds real. I can't believe we will be able to get Epinesa or Gross Matos. I know, that is insane. Absolutely insane. I never would have thought in a million years that those two would be available in the second round, and I'm extremely happy because we're going to get a really good we're going to get a first round talent in the second round. So happy how this draft played out. A lot of players got taken. This was a bad pick. Don't care what the grades say. Hey, that's your opinion. No matter what, I know a lot of people assumed we were taking Isaiah Simmons. I took a lot of heat saying it was not going to happen. I took a ton of heat that it was not going to happen, but I was very, very firm on my research that I done. And the research that I done, and I followed the money, it suggested that Okuda was the pick. Do you believe that we will make it to the Super Bowl? No. Tampa Bay Buccaneers to me are a scary, scary team. But hey, if you could get to the playoffs, anything is possible. Look at the New York Giants back in 2007. So they were a wild card team, beat the undefeated Patriots. So you never know. But as a Lions fan, I just take one day at a time. I think that's what we all got to do. Green Bay killed this draft. That was funny. I expected that they would take the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers. I said that last year offseason. I said Aaron Rodgers is getting old. Watch them take the quarterback next year. And they did. I think both Bengals and Skins offensive line at the top of the draft, very possible to Hogan. Very, very possible. Bengals need to protect their franchise quarterback. And Trent Williams, is he going to be traded? Interesting. Jordan Trubisky, very, very possible. J.K. Dobbins. Look, if they decide to go running back, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. Mike, would you rather take defensive tackle Gallimore over edge Epinesa or Matos? This is an outstanding question. I think I would. Utergros, Matos, and AJ Epinesa, to me, I'd say 0.1%. I'd give a little the edge of Matos. I think he'd be a little bit better. Gallimore, I would love that. You put him in the middle, and he would be a great player there. Mike, how certain are you that they'll trade for Tooney? I would give it a 40% certainty because the reports came out that they've already talked to each other about a trade. And the Patriots cannot get extension. The Patriots are in cap hell. When you're in cap hell, what do you do with a player that you can't re-sign? You simply trade him away. Detroit Lions always trade with the Patriots. It's the Detroit Patriots. They want a day 2 pick. We have 2 third-round picks. I felt like the Lions coveted Joe Tooney. To me, it's a match made in heaven. Take Halapalooty Vaitai, throw him in the right tackle position. Take Joe Tooney, put him in the guard. We're good to go and set at the offensive line for this year. What does Amani play next year? Amani, to me, I think you're going to see him play a lot. I think you're going to see him play a lot. I think you're going to see him. I think you'll see Okuda. I think you'll see Trufant. Remember, Trufant, guys. Trufant was injured a lot last year. So, to me, it's also important to get a cornerback that's not injury prone. And so Trufant was injury prone, so it's important to get a young guy in there. And because if we get injuries, we seen last year, man, getting injured players, owie, it's not working well. Think we get Swift at 35? It's possible. Look, there's so much talent there. To me, there's so much talent. DeAndre Swift, Utergros Matos, Neville Gallimore, AJ Epinesa. We are getting extremely lucky in this draft, and I want to thank a lot of NFL teams by overdrafting players. There's a couple overdraft picks, as well as a run on quarterbacks, as well as a run on wide receivers, and that pushed defensive talent to the Detroit Lions, and not a single running back taken. Outstanding. And could you see trading back into the second? I could see us trading back because of so much players falling. Now, if they rate those players kind of similar, if they wanted to trade back 2 or 3 spots, if a Uter or if AJ or if Gallimore or Blacklock or if DeAndre Swift, a lot of these guys are on board, and if they want to trade back 3 or 4 spots, knowing they'll get one of those guys, I'm all for it. Yeah, but who's starting defensive tackle? Shelton, Atkins. Look, a sleeper that I had was the defensive tackle from the Buckeyes in the 4th round. That guy, to me, he could be the next. If we decided to not go defensive tackle in the 2nd and 3rd round, check him out. The sleeper that I had drafted to the Detroit Lions was him. I said that he would be our Deshaun Hand. He was my value pick. So if we don't go defensive tackle in the 2nd round, check him out. He's a big body. To me, he could be my he's my sleeper. I made that my sleeper pick, and I had some individuals say that there's not a. I picked that the Lions would take Jeffrey Okuda. I said that they would take DeAndre Swift. I forget some of the other picks, and I had a lot of people say not a single person would get drafted. And it is what it is. Right now I'm 1 for 1. I'm happy. I'd like to go 2 for 2, but we'll see. I did not expect, though, AJ Epinesa, and I definitely didn't expect Yuder Gross-Matos to be available in the second round. So I would love any of those guys. We need Swift. I would love DeAndre Swift, too. If we're going to go running back, I think Swift would be the best of the litter. I think he would. I think that would be a great tandem to have. But it would be hard to pass up on Yuder Gross-Matos. It would be really hard to pass up on AJ Epinesa. AJ Epinesa is supposed to be a top 10 pick before the combine. So to get him in the second round, to me, would be extreme value pick. Let's see, Mike, what are your thoughts about Jordan Love to the Packers? Here's my thoughts. First off, there's many things I want to say here. Yes, Hamilton. Devin Hamilton. Yes, that is my sleeper. Check him out. That was my 4th round pick in my mock draft. And what are the Packers here? First off, I'm mixed with this. I did not want the Packers to take a quarterback, because they always have good quarterbacks, and it was smart for the franchise. But that said, I don't think Love is going to be a really good quarterback. A lot of people are high on him, saying he's got this great ceiling. I don't believe he's going to be that great of a quarterback. It's just what I believe. And it gives less weapons to the Packers now. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is not too happy about this. I'm sure he wanted to get a wide receiver. So it doesn't help their team now. If Hamilton falls to 4th, I will probably just stop watching football. Hey, that was my sleeper for the 4th round. Do you think that we should try and get another second round pick? I think we possibly will trade up into the second round. We do got 2 third round picks and 2 fifth round picks. They could take one of those thirds and move up into the second round and throw a team a 5th round pick and get another second round talent. Turn around with the other 3rd round pick. Trade it for Joe Thuney. So I'm really happy about this draft. I'm extremely happy. And just the way that it's falling with the talent, guys, it's working well. You see my team needs. You see cornerback. You can cross that off. Interior offensive line, edge, tackle, and a running back. Well, a running back's not on there, but that's definitely neat. I called the Green Bay picking Love. Good job, Crimson Tide. That was my worry. I said, dang it, man. I said they could take the heir apparent, but I don't think Love's going to be that great of a pick. I don't. Everyone thinks he's better than Justin Herbert. I beg to differ. Where do think of Ooch? Could go for him. AJ Epinesa is going to be happy. Yeah. Simmons, I didn't think Simmons was going to be the pick. I didn't think if you looked at free agency, we signed 3 linebackers, traded for a safety, and signed a safety. So, it is what it is. I didn't believe we were going to take him after free agency. I got laughed at, mocked, ridiculed for a month straight, destroyed, just ripped up every single day because I felt like that was not going to be the pick. But my thing is to not tell you what you want to hear, but is tell you what I believe was taking place. So, Mike, keep up the great content, man. I am so happy with this draft this fall. So am I. What's going on, Pride Time B, man? Welcome to the chat. Pride Time B was also real as well with his picks. So make sure you subscribe to Pride Time B. He's a Detroit Lions YouTuber, and he was right as well. I don't think we drafted a safety. No, I don't think so. Dobbins tomorrow. Pride time. I think DeAndre Swift could be still available. I think DeAndre Swift would be a better value pick. I just didn't believe DeAndre Swift would be available. I actually had the Lions traded up into the first round for my mock draft to get DeAndre Swift. Long and behold, a lot of weird players got taken, and he got pushed. But I also did not believe that Yuder Gross-Matos would be available. I also did not believe that AJ Epinesa would be available. I also didn't believe Neville Gallimore would be available. So we are good. Really should pat yourself on the back. I got ridiculed, man. I got threatening. I tell you what, there was individuals who I had to remove the comments because they were threatening. They say that I know nothing about football. They said there's no way that Okuda was going to be picked. They said there's 0% chance. I got ridiculed. And so I had to remove some of the comments, and I went with what I felt was the case. And so it's not patting on myself on the back. I just wanted to stay real with you guys. Last year, I made a huge error by saying the Detroit Lions were going to make the playoffs. After that did not occur, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I must really dive. If I make a prediction, I must dive into the details. And so when I looked in the mirror and I checked myself, I had to dive into the details to make sure that I'm not just talking and blowing smoke up people's behinds. Embrace the hate. Good job sticking with your instincts, Mike. Well, thank you guys. It's just it's not necessarily what I want. It's just I put myself in my shoes of what Bob Quinn's going to do. But as an individual who influences individuals out there, it's important. It is important to give you what I think is facts. And when I did the research and I seen the amount of money that we were paying linebackers and safeties, I realized that was not going to be the pick. And when I seen that we were underpaying a cornerback and we still needed a corner, I said Jeffrey Okuda is going to be the pick. If we hadn't had all the injuries, we could have made the playoffs. Possible. It's possible, but it's possible. Matthew Stafford, I think we were still, 3-4-1? But, when Matthew Stafford went down, that kind of nixed it in the butt right there. So, is Tooney rumors true? I believe it's true, in all honesty. I do believe it's true. I believe it's true because, again, the Patriots are in a really cap-bad situation. The Lions are the second best cap team in the NFL. The Patriots are the bottom or near the bottom. And we coveted this player, in my opinion, in free agency. He's not doesn't look like they're close to an extension. To me, it's a perfect fit. It's a fit made in heaven, man. You're a soldier, one pride. Mike, thank you. Go Lions. Mike, you should call yourself Mystic Mike. Okay, hey, man, I'll take Mystic Mike. That works if you want. Or, it just is what it is, man. And, look, I could sleep well tonight. I wanted to make sure that it was important for me to go against the grain, and it was important for me to speak what I felt was the truth. And that's it. I don't want to blow horns or anything, but that's what I'm trying to do. So I understand that people may be upset that we didn't take Isaiah Simmons, but I just felt like it was important for me to at least tell you the facts that I believed it to be. So let's just now understand that we have players available in the second round that is first round talent. We can't address that defensive line. We can address the running back position. A lot of quality players are still on the board, guys. Don't be upset about it because we are in a good position, and it is extremely, extremely exciting, guys, how this draft played out. Just look at the players available. It is outstanding. Outstanding, and we're going to see a lot of individuals that, in my opinion, are quality players, first-round talents, fall into the Lions simply because of what was taking place. And it's great news for us, guys. It truly is. Go against the grain. That's a no. I'm not taking a shot at anybody. A lot of people, not just DSA, said that Simmons was going to be the pick. I think that was fairly consensus, not just in YouTube world, but all over the place. So I'm not taking a shot at nobody. I'm taking what I'm trying to suggest to you is I am just going to tell you the truth that I see it, whether it's good or whether it's bad. That's it. That's just that's all I can do. And to me, when I said Okuda, I took a lot of beef for it, but that was fine because I just felt like that was it. Tell them who else in the media said it. Show me anywhere. Well, if you go on YouTube, go everywhere and search. Go on Twitter. Go on Twitter and look everywhere. I think Twitter went to in an explosion when I think Twitter went in an explosion when Simmons was not picked. And I have a lot of Lions fans on my Twitter feed, so there was a ton. Let's see. I bet Quinn takes Ezra at 35. We have Okuda. Yeah, man. Okuda Amangata. So we got the guy, Ezra. It's going to be interesting. We got players that are available that I covet, and I'm extremely ecstatic about that. And it's extremely awesome, man. And I'm happy with how this draft played out. Specifically at the end, I was worried with the Tennessee Titans. I was worried with some of the other teams, the Baltimore Ravens. I was worried about the Kansas City Chiefs. And they picked players that I did not want for the Lions. And it pushed the players that I want for my Lions to the second round. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, man. A lot of people wanted Simmons, and that's perfectly fine, man. That's perfectly fine for sure. Let's see. Swift will have a Dalvin Cook impact. I think he can. I definitely think he can have that. He can have a really big impact. If you remember, we've had Javid Best. We went 5-0. We had Reggie Bush. We're a lot better team. We just need to have a running back that's on the field. Every time we get one, there's an injury or something. And I just think it's so important to have a guy that puts some fear in defenses. It will help Matthew Stafford out. Rumors that the Lions are looking to move back in the second round, shaking my head, trying to stay positive. I could see them move back a couple of spots. There's still a lot of players on the board. We'll find out tomorrow, man. We'll find out tomorrow. It's exciting, though. All these rumors, all these news, everything's going on, and it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. With that said, folks, it is 12:47. I am tired, and I need to get to sleep because tomorrow we're live streaming on the Gridiron Blitzes channel. We're doing the second and third rounds. On Saturday, it's all on my channel, live streaming the whole, 4th through 7th round. It's going to be a long day. A lot of quality players on the board, and we're going to be talking about it. So, with that said, folks, stay positive, stay happy, wash your hands, and again, we're building something. It may not be the perfect pick, but we got to wait. We have got to wait, guys. We got to wait for the year. Much love and respect to all you guys. Very humbling that you came out so late. So I truly appreciate it. With that said, folks, adios.